It is the Horsham District Footy League report and the Jeparit Rainbow Storm and big Peter Weir. He was back last week, but he was all back on the footy field too. He's with us now. G'day, Weary. How are you?
Yeah, going really well, thanks, Wayne. And yeah, it's been a good week on the farm. And yeah, the club couldn't have asked for things to go better last weekend in our round against Canova.
Couldn't have asked for better, but you had the Indigenous jumper auction, and they tell me that every jumper was pretty valuable, and even the Weary jumper went up for some money.
Yeah, I was waiting for your name to pop up on the bid sheet, Flowman. I thought you might have been interested in it, but I didn't see that happen. But no, overall it was a great night for the club. I think up to $16,000 was raised, Flowman, and yeah, the jumpers were really well supported, and one of the reasons was they looked great, and I think a few of the boys would have been keen to wear them every week, Flowman, but they've all sold and gone to new owners now. But yeah, it was a successful night for the club.
Yeah, I just couldn't get a bid in. Those blokes down at the bakery, that's Bow Bakery. They just want more than pies.
Yeah, they love their footy, the boys.
Yeah, they certainly do. And of course, the Netty girls, that too, a chance for them this week. We'll have a look at that with the games with Taylor's Lake a bit later on, so they are having a good season. Let's go to the football. In senior matches last week, we'll go across the other senior games first. And Pimpernio, their season is done and dusted after the Swifts put them away by 10 goals.
Yeah, as we said last week, a few tough matchups for him in that game, and Big Heels at full forward for Swifts was one of those, and he bagged 7 goals.
He was. Harry Balmoral bagged a big win over Laharam, 22-13 to 5-2 at Balmoral.
Yeah, probably respectable. Laharam kicked 5 goals, which has been tough to do against Harrow for all teams this year, but yeah, another big win by the Harrow boys.
Now, this is interesting, the next 2 games. Now, Kalkee, 10-13 to Rapanya, 9-14, a big upset.
Yeah, it was. I think Kalkee, we know they're a better team than missing out on finals, Flowman, and this is probably just a last-minute reminder to the league that they're a pretty handy footy side still and a good club out there, and watch for them to bounce back next year, and they showed that they've still got it with a good win over Rapanya. All
right, now Ednab Apsley lost to Narrajua Quantong 16-6 to 7-10 after the week before taking it to the league leaders. Well, what was happening down there at Edenhope?
Oh, I think maybe similar to us, Flowman, Narrajua Quantong, you can't afford to take the foot off the pedal, and maybe after a couple of really strong games, the Edenhope boys were feeling good about themselves, and they come up against the Narrajua Quantong team full of running, and probably got run off the park down there at Edenhope, and a really strong win leading into finals by the Bombers.
And that about 20 goals, 19 over Taylor's Lake, 5 goals, 6, pretty much a regulation win for the Sheep Paddocks.
Yeah, Nutty Muck boys like playing against Taylor's Lake. There's a bit of crossover there over the years, and one of those blokes is Nathan Koning, Flowman, who helped himself to 11 goals against his old club.
Well, talking about helping himself to some goals was none other than P. Weir. 7 big ones on his return, and they say that you're going back through the twos. You didn't actually end up doing that, and you starred in a 30-goal, 20 win over Canova Leor, 2 goals, 5.
Oh, it was great to be back out there. We were pretty much close to full strength, Flowman, and yeah, we certainly played that way against a Canova team that's probably looking forward to the end of the season. But yeah, in Ash's 200th game and Simo's 200th game, it was great to get such a convincing win, and also to celebrate the Indigenous round. It was a really successful day for the senior team, and we got through unscathed, and everyone felt good about themselves walking off the ground.
Didn't they what Tom Clark did, and Ash Clugston and also Nick Yarran all booted 5 to add to your big haul, and it was a great day for the club. The reserve grade, now, if there's such a thing with the Canova Leor boys as say, putting a couple of players back into the twos to make sure they get to finals, your blokes actually caused a monumental upset on the day. Everyone was talking about the reserves and their effort. You got a win that you maybe weren't going to get, 5-8 to 5-6.
Yeah, we knew the boys would be dangerous last weekend, and yeah, they proved to be that, and yeah, it took right until after the siren, Flowman, Adam Schultz lined up from about 40 metres out and never looked like missing, so he's very happy with himself, and so he should be, and yeah, it was a rousing win for the reserves boys in what's been a pretty dull year for them.
Adam Schultz, I tell you what, free plumbing quotes this week. Cody Effort and Jake Parry. Liam Preston also got goals, which were really important in a low-scoring match, and Geordie Leach and Jake Parry along along with Scott Adams, joined Schulze in playing some pretty reasonable footy. And what about this? I thought this was one of the upsets of the season here. Your 17-year-olds got in and had an absolute beauty against Caniva-Leor, 9-18-72 to 5-6-36. A little bit of discussion about the fact that the two Nil boys come down to Jeparit and played in Dickinson and Schneider. Two good players, by the way. Gee, it just shows you two extra good players, along with, say, you've got Fisher, and I reckon Cox come back into that side. I reckon that shows just what Jeparit Rainbow could do in the future.
Yeah, it was great for the boys to have that win, and helped by Dickinson and Schneider from Nil, both talented athletes, and to have Louis Cox back in there, you sort of forget that he's still a junior player, Flowman, because he's done such a great job in the senior comp, so it's probably fitting for him to go out of his junior grades with a great win and a dominant performance, Flowman, and great to see the boys get that upset win.
Oh, wasn't it just? And they really did turn it on for their fans locally there, with 2 each to Marcel Baduda, Riley Schneider, Cooper Stazanowski, 1 each to Clark Dickinson and Bronte Efford, and well played all in that game. What about this 14 side that wasn't the end to the season, at least at home, that they would have liked, because they were done by Caniva-Leor, 9-7-61 to 1 point. It is worth mentioning that the Cougar boys are at the top of the table in the 14s. Yeah,
they're probably premiership favourites, Flowman, in the under-14s, and too strong for our boys. And, I noticed Bella Spokes in there, a young girl, Flowman, got in the best players. So look out AFLW in the future. There might be someone coming that way from Jeparit Rainbow.
Isn't that great to hear from Bella? She kicked the goal too. Lenny Weir stood up all year. He's going to make a very good under-17s player. He's been playing up there this year. Spokes and Eckerman, Baston, and also the other very good girl, Bella Spokes, and Jasper Bingham in the better players. Good on the kids. All right, we have a look at the Netty girls. They got to win this weekend.
Yeah, they do, Flowman. It's as simple as that. The ladder positions has it that if they do beat Taylor's Lake this weekend, they'll definitely play finals next week. So after a strong win against them earlier in the year, there'll be plenty of confidence on the court. But you still got to get the win, and let's hope the girls can do that Saturday afternoon.
I hear too that next year they're looking at under 12s action for the league, having an underage team coming into play. What are your thoughts on that?
I think participation at all age groups is a great thing, Flowman. So if they can field sides in the under-12s, I'll be all for it. But it's obviously got to be considered with volunteers and things like that. But the more kids we can have playing sport, I think the better. Good
stuff. Let's go to this week's matches, and you get Taylor's Lake at senior level. Of course, the kids in 17s won't be playing because Taylor's Lake don't have a team. So that means that their last hurrah was last week. Let's have a look at the other matches in senior footy. Swifts should beat Natty Muck.
Yeah, I think the Swifties boys will enjoy the challenge at Natty Muck, but be too good and take some good momentum into the finals.
Narrajua Quantong can get up over their arch enemies Pimpernio at Quantong.
Yeah, well, Pimp's probably best win of this season, Flowman, was against Quantong earlier in the year, but I don't think they'll be able to repeat that performance. And I think, the Bombers are a real danger club this year, and I think they'll beat Pimp quite easily at home.
Match of the round is Rapanyup taking on Edenup Apsley, both coming off shock losses last week, and both sides wanting to get their form as they head to finals.
Yeah, it's a tough one, this one. They're obviously going to be similar spots on the ladder. I don't think they'll meet each other in the first final, Flowman, but they'll be both keen to have a good game. But then they also won't want to overdo it and play their first final this weekend and not have as much energy for the following week. So watch for an interesting game, but I think possibly Rapanyup to win that.
All right, for the colourblind people, it's not a good game. Laharam Red and Blue versus the Keys Red and Blue.
Yeah, I think you never want to see a team go through the season without having a win, Flowman. So I'll be barracking for Laharam, but I think to tip them would be a bit of a stretch. So I'll have to stick with Kalkey.
And Harrow should beat Caniva-Leor, who I think the wheels have now fallen off.
Yeah, I think the Caniva boys will be keen for the final siren to go on the weekend. And Harrow, unlike Laharam, will complete a perfect season and go into the finals without dropping a game.
I think Taylor's Lake, the same would be said for their season. I think they'll be happy to have this final siren blow at the Dock Lake. As Jeparit Rainbow, I reckon you should to give them a pretty good mauling.
Yeah, without the Darwin boys in the team this week, Flowman, we've got opportunities for 3 or 4 blokes to come in, and there's no reason if they don't play good games they can't push for a spot in the final side. So there's still plenty on the line for us, and yeah, we just hope to get through with a really solid win and take some good confidence into the final series.
I'll tell you what, the reserve grade could be really interesting because Taylor's Lake at the bottom, if your blokes get going early, could kick a big score here.
Yeah, it'd be great to see the reserves boys have a win to finish their season off, and also, we're looking forward to them continuing to train with the senior group, Flowman, because I think up to 36 players have gone through the senior team, so we've got great depth this year, and we hope to see them continue to train with us after this weekend's match.
No 17s, but the 14 lads will get a chance, and girls there too, because they will be coming 10th place. They are up against a side that is a little bit higher at 7th, but a winnable match, I think, for the 14s.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to finish the year on a high, Flowman, and get that 5th win for the year. And yeah, Nathan Cox has done a great job for the boys, so hopefully they can send him out a winner in his first year of coaching in the under-14s.
Great stuff. It's a big weekend. We're looking forward to finals and having you cover it in the Horsham District. The Jeparit Rainbow Storm report will catch up with you next week.
No worries, Wayne.